EGM Network.
Welcome to Scouted Treasure Coast. On this show, we talk about the people and the businesses that shape our life here on the Treasure Coast. Today, I have Deb Daly with Decorative Arts. She's an interior designer that has been here in Vero Beach for a long time, has a retail store, 27 years?
24 plus years.
Okay,
yeah.
24 plus years. So we're going to talk to Deb today about her journey, getting her business going, and the retail store and interior design trends that she sees. So with that, welcome, Deb. Thank you for coming on the podcast today.
Thank you for having me, Amy. I appreciate it.
And she's fresh back from her snowboarding trip to Sun Valley.
Made it. Nothing broken.
I'm a little jealous, but anyways. So tell me about how you got into first interior design, and then let's go into your retail store. I know it's been here for a long time.
I actually bought it from an existing brother-sister team.
Okay.
The brother, Ken Farrar, and the sister was Jan Farrar. And it had probably been around for about 10 years. And true story, I used to drive by it. It's not in the location it is now, but it was still in downtown. And I would drive by it, and I would say, like, one day I'm going to own that store. Not even having walked in there, to be honest. I mean, and then one day I walked in, got a job, and then 2 years later I bought it from them.
Okay.
But they were very influential and really taught me so much in that time period that I spent with them.
Okay. So is that how you started out in interior design as well?
So I bought the store, moved it to the current location, and then so I already had the knowledge of I always have done like custom upholstery and drapes and things like that. But really, with the getting more into the interior design aspect of it, people would just ask me, they'd come into the store and then just say like, hey, can you come do my bookshelves? Can you come, do shutters? Can you do my house? So it like grew and grew and grew and grew over the years.
So you guys are known for sourcing unique pieces, whether it be like fabric, furniture. You tell me a little bit about that process?
So, I mean, there's markets. There's a High Point, Atlanta. Right. There's obviously the Dakota, which is down south, which is fabric and furniture. So it's really just going and finding. I just like to find, when I go to market, I buy with the intention of, I just buy openly. If I like something, I buy it, whether it be a pillow, a blanket, a necklace, or whatever speaks to me. I just, knowing that I can put it in my store, and I can't wait to see who buys it from me. And the process of it all. Right.
So what's your favorite kind of projects? I mean, I know that they range, but what do you think if someone, had to give you your ideal project, what would it be?
I would say from the ground up is always nice, because then you're starting from, from with the builder, the architect, seeing it from like on paper, and then all of a sudden, you see it and it's your vision with the client and the architect and the builder. So that's always fun. But sometimes it's fun just to like refresh too. As we were talking earlier, I've had clients for 20 years and they'll just want to refresh some things that, we did 10 years ago. Then we're going a totally different direction. So that's always fun too.
Is there a balancing act between the retail store and the interior design?
There is. I mean, they go hand in hand for sure, because a lot of times on projects, I mean, the beauty of having a store is we can go in and like, we need accessories, and we can go raid the store and do all that. So the retail, I mean, it definitely kicked off my career, which I'm grateful for. I love having a store. I love to buy. I love to see clients that come in that have been store clients for years, that come in just to say hello even, or, I know their kids from when they were little, and then they're getting married. I'm attending their wedding. So there's a beauty of having both.
Yep. So what trends are you seeing right now?
I'm not a really big trend follower, but I'd like to go with my instincts. Yep. But I would say...
so what are your instincts telling you?
Well, there's a lot of layering happening. So, I mean, there's like a minimalist kick that, everything was white. And now I'm seeing a lot of darker elements being added in with light and then color. I would say kind of like earth tones. I think a lot of the outside colors that we see on plants, green's a huge color, which is my favorite color. It always has been. And so I'm seeing a lot of variations of green being introduced instead of just like blue and white. Like I did have, somebody asked me the other day, what's your favorite go-to blue and white fabric? I'm like, I don't have like that. There's a million. So, I don't like to use the same, go-to fabric. I want to, spread it out so that every house is different.
So speaking of outside, I know outside living has become a big thing,
Huge.
Yeah. So
indoor, outdoor living.
Yep, indoor, outdoor living. So what do you think is most important when you're staging, or not staging, but in designing a house for somebody, in their outdoor living?
So I always ask them, like it depends if they're a big family, which a lot of them do. A lot of them, this is their second home, so they like to entertain and they like to have their family over and friends over. So I think the outdoor is just as important as the inside. Like we just are finishing up a project, and the outdoor space is incredible. It's huge, and it was for them. It was all about family and grandkids. So we set it up to where there's a day bed for the kids to play on and take a nap on, but then setting up adult sections too with bars and lounge chairs for the kids to lay out. And so I just think it's just as important as the inside.
How many people do you have that work for you at the store?
So so Charlotte is my social media girl, and she's been with me for at least 18 years.
Okay.
So she started off working at the store, but that wasn't a good fit. But her degree was in graphic design, so she decided Facebook came out and all that, so she handles all of that for me.
Okay.
Leslie doesn't design with me, and she's been there for 6 or 7 years. Amanda, who is a very good friend, I've been trying to get her to work for me for like at least 10 years, and she finally came on board about 3 years ago. And her daughter is amazing. I'm really close with Lillian too. And then Jessica works with us as well. And then my sister-in-law from Indiana works for me remotely.
Oh,
so she does proposals, invoices. So everybody's encompassing. Everybody has a role. Everybody backs each other up. So I feel really grateful for the team that I have right now. It's super solid.
So what, obviously, growing up, made you, what sparked your interest in interior design?
Well, even as a kid, I would like move my furniture around at my parents' house, or I would, I actually would, I remember this so clearly as a kid, I would set up a shop, and then I would like put things for my mom to gather and bring to me to the cash register and buy. It could be like a pool table cube or whatever, it doesn't matter, just like random stuff. And I'd have her check her out. I would check her out and add it up.
So you were going to have a retail store way back then.
I think so, yes. And I've always been into fashion too, and that kind of goes hand in hand. Like I have a brother that's 2 years older, and I would steal his jeans and wear them before boyfriend jeans were boyfriend jeans, and just wear a big belt and wear baggy jeans. So I just have always loved color. I've always loved just looking at things and appreciating beauty wherever it is.
Were you, are you from Vero, or did you move here from?
I moved here when I was 12. My grandmother lived here, and my dad retired from the service. He was in the Army for many, many years. And then we moved here, and she moved away.
Okay, so you stayed. So you stayed here.
We stayed. Yeah.
So that gives you a nice, I think, understanding of the living here in Vero Beach.
Yes, Vero Beach is a great community. There's so many of us that, called it Zero Vero growing up, and we were never coming back. And so many of my closest friends we've all come back. It's a great place to live.
And what do you think? And I agree with you on that. But what do you think draws you back the most?
The community. I think we have an amazing community. We all back each other up. There's enough business, with designers and builders and architects and everybody in this field. There's so much work to go around that I think we all support each other instead of like not wanting the best. We all want the best for each other, which I think is so important.
Yep. So are you on any, do you serve with any nonprofits or any?
At the moment, I actually don't, but I did that a lot when I started my business. Yep. I was with the ELC, Children's Home Society. So I used to give my time, and now I give back by attending events.
Yep, absolutely. So let's talk about what do you think the trends are going forward here in Vero?
Oh boy, it's growing quickly, but it's part of the process. So as far as trends, it would be great if we had a few more restaurants. Having more. I mean, like Ocean Drive is a very walkable city or town. I would love to see downtown Vero grow more too. To have more businesses come, and they are coming. So it's exciting to see. I did an event a couple of weeks ago with White Glove and brought just people downtown, and it was really nice. It was a great turnout, and to make it a little more user friendly for people to walk around.
So do you think that that's something going forward too, more commercial design as the businesses start to come in and buildings start to be redone?
Absolutely.
Are you doing any projects currently?
In commercial, I am working on an office at the moment, but that's kind of about it for commercial at the moment. But I've done quite a few different commercial projects, mainly with decorating and design. But I just have one at the moment. It's more residential is kicking my butt, so I'm kind of sticking there right now.
So as far as design, how you're very well known here in Vero Beach, and I know you've been on a lot of magazine covers and have won a lot of awards. Are you doing, do you see a lot of stuff, with the Treasure Coast, the growth on the Treasure Coast, people coming from, talking about coming from New York, or they're coming from down south?
Yeah, but Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, I mean, Vermont has been a big push too. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I've got like 3 clients from Vermont. So
are they going out on to the Barrier Island?
Yeah.
Or
oh yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I know one of the something that's and I don't think that people really talk about it much, but I've actually talked to a couple people in the last couple weeks about the ranches out west. So that's becoming
That's a huge trend. Absolutely. Like people are doing barns. Like the guy that I have do all my he paints interior and exterior homes. He has this really cool barn out west, and I have another friend that's building a barn, and they kind of use them as just like, you can have events out there, but they're also planning on like eventually building them out too. But yeah, the ranches are huge. I mean, that's a really
so
cool.
There's a lot of big houses being built out west.
Which is interesting because back in the day, it was kind of the opposite, where people lived out west and they'd have a beach house, like my friend's grandparents and whatnot would live like further out west.
Almost a 30-minute drive.
Yeah,
really.
Exactly. Now it's kind of opposite, where you live on the beach and then you have a place out west.
Yeah, that's what I've kind of heard people talking about that and stuff too.
Yeah.
So tell me some of them, some of your favorite things to do
with design,
or just in general, talking about Deb Daly. I know you just got back from snowboarding.
Yeah, which as I said, I can make it down any mountain, but it's not always pretty. I mean, I love just spending time with my friends. I love being at home. I love working on my own house. I have so many close friends that I grew up with, friends that I've met, that have moved here that you embrace too.
Right.
So I spend a lot of my time with hanging out with people. That's important to me.
Are you a beach goer?
Only when people come to town.
Only when people come to town?
Pretty much. Well, Amanda that works with me, sometimes my partner of 20 years, Stuart, he and I will take her daughter to the beach and then go get ice cream. So, yeah, I mean, I love the beach, but it's typically like if family comes to town, then we go to the beach, and then I forget to wear sunscreen, I get scorched.
So as far as getting, going back, and that's part of what we do here is just having a conversation. Tell me what, in the retail store, like, what do you think people are looking at right now? Like when people come in, just sort of off the street.
Yep.
What is the things that you see them gravitate to the most?
I would say, the beauty, I would say, of my stores is like a treasure trove. So if somebody wants to, I take privilege and an honor when people, if they want to come in, they've had lunch down the street and they come in and they just buy some matches. Like, that's important. I love that they found something, or if they end up buying a sofa or an entire room. But I think what people gravitate towards are just unique things, like things that you don't see every day. I don't buy in bulk, so what I have is what I have, and then I replace it with other things. But I think people are gravitating more towards color instead of just like white sofas, white chairs. They're wanting to add print and layers of prints too is a big
prints
deal.
Are really back.
Oh yeah, and layering them too. So it's like wallpaper, headboard, drapes. It's kind of like that.
So is it getting back to where it used to be? I remember when I guess I was like in high school or whatever. My mom, I felt like our whole house was wallpapered, and then it like got away from that.
Yeah.
Now are we going back to that?
We are so back in. Yes, ceilings, everything, doors, everything. Yeah, just
all right,
wallpaper the entire space.
We're not just painting the ceiling, but we're doing wallpaper.
Mm-hmm. I am, yes, and it definitely like encompasses the room. I mean, I think color saturation is a big thing, a big trend, and I have been doing that for a while now. Where you paint.
Can you explain a little bit about color saturation?
Yeah, so it's like when the walls and the trim and the doors, like the whole room is the same color. The trim and the doors might be a different finish than the walls. Like the walls could be matte or flat, and then the trim is a higher gloss or whatnot. But so it's still just like the whole room is saturated in one color. And then and maybe the ceiling would be
the finishes are different.
Yeah.
So one looks glassy and then one looks like kind of hardened.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think like some of the biggest prints are right now?
Prints?
Yeah.
I mean, I will say there's a big influence on Asian influence.
Really?
Animals are back in the biggest way.
Okay, I was about to say, is animal print
big
back?
time? Yes,
okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then I mean, geometric is kind of nice too, because it's nice to mix like a big print with a small print and then a stripe and a dot, and just mixing it all.
So we're doing all that, the overlays.
Yes, which I love. That's my favorite thing, is to mix.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
To mix layers. I'm a layering girl.
What about as far as woodworking and stuff? I mean, obviously there's that with the trim and the are we still seeing a lot of that? And so like back, I don't know how long ago, maybe 20 years ago, and I've since like ripped it out of our house, but there was a big trend with like bambooing even the ceilings, obviously the bars,
right, like the lattice kind
yes
of look.
Yes,
yeah.
Or even just the bamboo,
just back.
which like you take the bamboo and
yes.
Put it. So it's back now.
It is back. Even in like you'll see it in wallpaper, you'll see it in fabrics. I mean, it's definitely all that we thought we'd never see again. Like I guess like what they say, everything always comes
everything
back.
Kind of comes back.
Bell bottoms or
20 to 30 years.
Yeah, exactly. So all those things that you ripped out, you might be putting back in.
What about shag carpet?
No,
not yet.
No, it's comfortable.
Not yet.
I haven't done a shag carpet, I don't think, since I grew up in Michigan in the 70s. But carpets are a huge deal too, because a lot of like with everything. Between like fabrics and carpets, everything is like dog and kid and adult friendly too. So there is a big push for like performance. So everything, it can be cleanable. I mean,
right.
that's the biggest.
Do people really do carpet here in Florida?
Not so much. I mean, some people do wall to wall, but it's more like cool area rugs. So they're also like almost a piece of jewelry for the floor.
Right.
You want them to be and not just plain.
Right.
I mean, there's pattern and they're fun.
Are you doing the rugs, or are we getting back to where you have like the thick? You know what I mean? The thick, almost like a
Berber.
Yes.
Yeah. I would say they're more like decorative than,
or even like the twill carpet.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you're doing wall to wall, that would make sense, because I mean, sometimes if it's like a second story, they want to cut down on the noise, so then it'll be, and you'll see. So it is a little bit, not quite shag, but I mean thicker padding and carpet.
Right.
But yeah, pretty much no one goes crazy on those. Those are pretty neutral. But if you're doing an area rug, then you can have fun with that.
What so now I know I mean, I guess it's been a couple years, but when we got a new sofa and some chairs in our living room, is it the Kynar? It's not Kynar, but
Krypton? Krypton.
Yeah. Krypton.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what
you
I
can
mean
basically throw whatever on, and then you just use something to get it off.
That's exactly right. So that's what that's performance fabrics, and that's what I was saying. Like with fabrics, rugs, like everything is kind of like being user friendly by having like Krypton.
Do they use the same thing with rugs?
They have like a friendly. I don't know. It's polypropylene, but it is it cleans up well. So if you spill wine or spaghetti sauce or whatever, it's like very easy to clean up, kind of like with the Krypton. Krypton doesn't, you can dab it and get it off, where it's not, it doesn't soak in.
So one of my neighbors redid their house a couple years ago, and they put the I'm not going to say it's vinyl, but the flooring.
Oh yeah, well, it's LVT, so it's a luxury vinyl tile.
Right, so because you can get it soaking wet, and it's not going to mess it up.
Right. I mean, you can literally, if it say you you have a leak in your laundry room and you have the LVT on the floor, you can literally take it off, dry it, and they click back together. So it's very different than wood. And it's come a long way, I have to say. Like I personally love hardwood floors, but there's definitely a purpose for it. And there's some that it's very hard to tell the difference.
Really? Okay, so that's becoming more of a...
Yeah, because again, everyone, you want to have, your place kind of as goof-proof as possible.
Right. So what do you think the, number one flooring, for Florida? Is it still wood, or is it travertine, or is it...
I mean, I like coral stone's a big one.
That's right,
which is beautiful because you can use it indoor, outdoors. So you can carry it through to, your pool area, the front, but it's nice to mix. I like mixing the wood with the coral stone too, because it's just a beautiful transition, and they coordinate nicely together.
Now with the coral stone, you have to make sure you seal it. Am I?
Yeah. Okay. You want to make sure whoever's installing it definitely seals it, because with the pollen and things falling from the tree, I mean, you definitely, like any stone that you use, quite frankly, outside, you want to make sure it's sealed, and inside too.
Right. So as far as wallpaper, who do you think one of your, who are your go-to?
I mean, I would say Schumacher is a big one. Kravitz, Tebow's huge. Philip Jeffries for mainly grass cloths, and they do beautiful vinyl grass cloths, which is great because you can put those in the bathroom, where you can't use real grass cloth in the bathroom, or you shouldn't because of the humidity.
Yeah.
I mean, we. I don't know if you've been in our store in a while, but the back room, and we've got just bins and bins and bins and books and books and books of wallpaper.
So is the grass cloth, is that still
big, huge?
Still?
Yeah, and that's fun to put on the ceiling, because then you're adding that warmth that you
and
get
so people are putting that back on the ceiling now?
Oh, yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. It's, and even pattern, so it's just like mixing wallpapers. You might do something different on the walls than you do on the ceiling, which is nice too, because then again, you're getting that layered look and the warmth of, it's like cozy.
So animal prints back in.
Big way.
Who would be, who's the big animals? Like you said, Asian.
Okay.
So are we talking like zebras, or that's African?
Dragons.
Really?
Yeah,
Dragons?
Dragons with the pagodas and, just an Asian influence. And then with animals, it would be, monkeys, elephants.
Really?
Zebra print. Zebra's always, zebra and, leopards kind of never gone out of style.
So monkeys are back in, huh?
Monkeys are in. All that stuff you got rid of 20 years ago.
I was about to say, all the stuff,
it's influenced a bit different. It's not like your traditional, like what we saw 20 years ago. There's definitely, a movement to it. It's a little bit more updated, but it's still, you'll see those influences that we saw all those years ago, for sure.
Pallet check is still...
Love pallet check.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of pallet.
Yeah, we carry them.
Yeah, you do?
We buy them for clients. We buy through them for clients. Yeah, it's just such a well-made product, and you know what you're getting.
What are some of the other manufacturers you carry?
So we carry Worlds Away, Villain Home, Noir, which is a company out of LA, which I had a privilege of going out there a few years ago and seeing the process of how they work and manufacture their pieces. So that was really cool to go
So how do you go about finding these manufacturers? Because obviously they're out in LA. Are they custom, like to where, you can actually have them make a couch custom or a table?
Oh, yeah. Yes, absolutely. And everything is kind of custom now, too. Like all the I mean, I work locally with a lot of like with an upholsterer, but I also sometimes it's, to get we order from like this company in Bella or Charter Street. So, and you can still custom size it and whatnot too. So it's nice.
So how did you find the one out in LA? I mean, I know you have manufacturers that you've kind of sourced from all over the country. How do you go about, how are you introduced to them?
Market.
Okay.
Yeah. There's this great sales rep company, J. Douglas. This guy, Doug, has owned it forever, and he's amazing. And he's got such a curated eye that he's got like, that's when I go to market, that's the first stop I go to, because I can pretty much buy the bulk of it there, and then I feel relief, and then I can go buy my accessories and everything else.
Okay.
So he represents the company that I went out to see a couple years ago, Noir, and
so he's kind of a middleman. He's kind of a middleman.
Yeah, there's a lot. Exactly. So going to market is really the best way.
Does he have his own?
Yes, in Atlanta
store or shop there in High Point.
So he's got High Point, and then in Atlanta too, he's got a permanent showroom. So I have a sales rep, Kelly, that I work with, and she's awesome. So I always, that's my very first appointment. I go get everything that I need for the most part, and then fill in the blanks.
What are some of your favorite accessory companies?
I love Made Goods. I love Arteriors. Pallet Check has beautiful pieces. And there's just like some small brands too where I go in and I just get their accessories. So there's, I literally, my list is like 900 of vendors.
Do you go down to Dakota much?
I go a couple times a year, yeah, for sure. Because there's like Quadrille down there. And they've got great fabrics. And I know that in the other area in Hollywood where it's not Dakota, but it's the other section where Krabbit is. And it's just a little bit further. I think it's a little further.
Do they get a lot of maybe designers from like Central South America?
For sure.
They do?
Yeah, they do. So, definitely. People definitely fly in and look, because it's probably the closest place. And they've got great stuff. Dakota has their fabric company still is strong there.
Their fabric company?
Mm-hmm. Their fabric companies, because they've got Schumacher, Krabbit's actually at the other place, Quadrille, Romo, so Pierre Frey, which is a fabulous line.
Right.
So yeah, it's fun to go down there. I love fabrics.
Do any of the South American designers, do they go to High Point or no?
That's a good question. I would imagine, because High Point's huge.
I've never been there, but actually when I went to college in North Carolina.
Okay.
So one of my sorority sisters, her family owned a showroom there at Market, and she would always go home and work, the weekends, over that.
Because it's April and October.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I was going to ask you about that. I knew about October. I must have forgotten about April, but I was in college a long time ago, so.
No, you weren't. A couple years.
So, but yeah, so.
Yeah, it's huge. I think a lot of people fly in from all over, whether you live in LA, because a lot of these brands, there's a lot of brands that are located in North Carolina, but a lot of them are just showrooms that happen to showroom in North Carolina.
Are you seeing an influence more? I don't really know if there's more, about European or, like I said, South American. Obviously, we're here in Florida, so we're going to have that influence. But do you see, it more going back to America, or is it still a trend, towards that European?
Both. I think a lot of people are definitely, and this has been a trend for a long time, is to buy, USA products. It's not always easy,
right?
But it definitely, and I love when I do see that on packaging or a company that says made in the USA.
Right.
I think that's important. But still, European. A lot of the fabrics and stuff are European brands.
They're still European brands. Okay.
I actually went to with Charlotte, my social media girl, went to Paris to the show there. I guess 10 years ago, and it's funny because it was pretty much a lot of the same kind of things that are here were represented there. So Jonathan Adler, who is an amazing designer, his stuff was there. A lot of the brands that I do carry were there too. So it was good to see that America had an influence on the Europeans as well.
Oh, okay, that's great. Yeah. He's Adler. I think is probably it's a big kind of world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think like when you go down to Dakota and obviously the South American market, like we said, there's a more of an influence there versus High Point. Do you see some of that influence coming up here?
Meaning like designers or design, like the clean lines?
Yes, like the clean lines. I guess that would probably be the better way
absolutely.
to
like more
ask that question.
Yeah, there's more like it's like a minimalist look.
Yes.
Yeah, we're definitely like more squared off, just like not a lot of clutter.
Do you still see that modern?
For sure, absolutely. But not as much as I see. I'm working on a house right now that hasn't started. It's still the architect is still working on the plans, but it's going to be more of like a Palm Desert kind of modern mid-century house, which I'm excited to work on.
So are you still seeing a lot of mid-century?
Personally, you see it, but I think that people are kind of mixing it, doing like a bit of minimalist, but with some extravagance as well, if that makes sense. So
more
it's like
Bermuda, kind of West Indies.
Yeah, that West Indies will always be,
obviously
amazing.
Here.
Yeah,
but they're kind of starting to mix that together.
But you can mix like lucite with something darker, like it just mixing it is, I think the which has always been kind of my look anyway, is important. So it's not just like one look. Like I love to mix metals. I don't like to just use chrome and then you're stuck with just chrome. I love to mix chrome with brass, and I think it's important to get those elements in so that it showcases a wider vibe than just doing one.
Right. Well, I think we're about. Jesse's kind of looking at me. We've kind of gone over again today. Seem to be doing that a lot lately. But thank you for joining us today on Scouted Treasure Coast. I will be back April 1st. So the next 2 weeks, we are off on spring break. Thank you for watching us, and I will see you next time.